Maureen O'Brien, and I'm the ESL teacher here at the Billerica Memorial High School and at the Marshall Middle School. And ESL stands for English as a Second Language. So I teach all of the students who come from other countries and who need to learn English in order to live in the country and to succeed in their academic courses. I wasn't always an ESL teacher. Before I was an ESL teacher, I was an engineer. And I ran factories that made consumer products such as toothpaste or shampoo. And as part of my job, I was sent overseas to live in France, England, and Denmark. And when I first arrived in France, I did not speak French. And I realized how difficult it is, even if you have a good education, to succeed in a place where you don't speak the language. And so I had to learn French and had to learn how to communicate and write and read and understand what people were saying to me, and it was probably one of the greatest challenges of my life. Now, I always wanted to be a teacher at some point, but since I was an engineer, I thought I would be a biology teacher or a math teacher or a chemistry teacher. But my experience overseas, trying to function in a language that was not my own, made me realize that instead of being a math teacher, I definitely wanted to be an English as a second language teacher. And that brought me here to Billerica Memorial High School. So what I do here is I get to meet all the students who come from many different countries. We don't have a lot of ELL students, that's what we call them, English language learners. But the ones that we have are from various countries. We have people from Ghana, India, Venezuela, Brazil, Morocco, Egypt, Honduras, where else? Anywhere you can imagine. And that is part of what makes my job so interesting. I get to meet kids from all around the world, and I also have the opportunity and the great privilege of watching them come in, maybe with no English at all, or maybe just a little bit, and watch them progress and learn more and more English and succeed academically in their classes as well as socially. So when a student first enrolls in the high school and we realize that English is not their first language, the first step is for me to give them a screening test to find out whether or not they will need help in English. And language is comprised of 4 domains. There's speaking, listening, reading, and writing. So I administer a test to these new students that tests their English proficiency level in those 4 areas. If the student is found to need extra help in English, they have ESL put onto their schedule. And they come to me for 1 period a day, and I help them either with direct English instruction to help them learn the academic vocabulary that they need to survive, and I also help them with their schoolwork. If they're working on a project or they need help with writing, which is one of the areas most students need help with, I help each student in their classes. I also have the opportunity to work with all of those students' teachers, talking to the teachers, explaining what level the student is at, and we measure students from a level 1 to a level 6. 1 is a total beginner, and a level 6 is somebody just like a native speaker who was born here. So I work with the teachers to explain what level the student is at and different techniques and strategies to help that student understand what's happening in class through pictures or graphs or sentence starters or maps, videos, so that they also have an opportunity to understand what's happening in class just like a native English speaker. So I do like that part about my job where I can work with all the teachers and I get to meet a lot of students from different countries. But I would say my greatest satisfaction is when I see a student who has come in as a beginner and watch them progress from a beginner to an intermediate to an advanced student, and then I see these same students applying to colleges, getting accepted to colleges, and then going off with a promising future.